Okay. On certain Wednesdays every month, we check in with the folks at Innovation DuPage. They bring along some guests of people they work with, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Dan Facchini, good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you, John. How are you?
Earlier in the show, I called you an accelerator and an incubator. Do I finally have it right?
Yes. Sometimes we say incubator first, but you have it.
Okay, so I just mixed up the order a little bit.
It's all right. We're good.
Well, a year ago, I didn't know what those two words meant. For those that still find them, buzzwordy, explain it. What is an incubator, an accelerator?
Well, I'll go the way you said it. So an accelerator is for really a existing business, and they really need to get to the next level. So we'll help them with a bunch of resources, mentoring, coaching, education around a specific topic, and we'll help them kind of grow. Mm-hmm. An incubator is a company that might be just starting out and needs to connect to resources, and so they'll come in and we'll help them any way they can too. So the accelerators usually go through like a 10-week mini MBA course, and we do those 3 times a year. And
in many ways, that can just be, in addition to all the resources, an opportunity for small business owners to cry on each other's shoulders. I don't know how else to put it. Like, it's a tough life as a small business owner, and having people that are going through it with you can help spark new ideas and be a little psychology too.
Yeah, today is a good example. We every other Wednesday we have these member meetups, so our members get to come together and meet some of our partners and find out resources and help each other. So it's a way of getting the community together.
I love that. And you guys do plenty more than just having these groups of businesses together. You do programs, you do specific things to bring certain people together, right? I mean, you guys are really always looking at new ways to find businesses and help them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're doing that to build the economy, the regional economy, but also the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we do youth programming. We have 33 kids in emerging entrepreneurs class right now, high school and college age youth going through that course. We'll have a big idea pitch contest in the spring. So not in addition to the business incubation and acceleration, we do all these other things in order to continue to build that kind of community and really build out the economy regionally.
Love that. You're bringing 2 people here that have been in before, about a year ago around this time. We'll go into why that seasonality makes perfect sense in a moment. We have Joe Barron from Gray Matter Games and Mary Couzin from People of Play. And Mary, first of all, congratulations. Recently inducted into the Toy and Game Hall of Fame. That sounds like a fun Hall of Fame to be in, Mary. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
How does that happen?
Well, it's a long process. People nominate you, then they vote on you. It takes like 6 months, and it was quite the surprise. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not like I didn't found Hasbro,
right?
Or I'm not George Lucas, obviously. Like there's some pretty heavy hitters in there.
Yeah, but People of Play don't undersell it. It's a huge organization that does a lot of great things. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yes. So we tell the stories of your favorite toys and games, and we promote play around the world. And when we help inventors, toy and game inventors, like reach those companies, we're connectors, if you will. And we just love it. It's our people.
And it kind of culminates in this big People of Play Chicago Toy and Game Fair this year in Rosemont, right?
Yes.
In the first weekend of November.
Yes, we're kicking off the holidays.
I love that. Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying last year. Is great event as always. Move it a little early to inspire. We're going to learn a little bit more about People Play in a minute. But before we hit the break, I want to say hello to Joe. Joe, I imagine you say that Mary's a legend, right? I mean, come on.
Mary is a legend, yes. Everybody knows Mary in the toy and game business, and she's helped a lot of us get off the ground, including myself. So thank you, Mary, and congratulations.
Well, you run Gray Matter Games. When you say get off the ground, what was that like to venture out into a career of games?
It's not easy. I knew nothing about games, and I was lucky enough to meet Mary at a pie shop in 2016, and from there you just start to meet new people that can help you, and then getting into Innovation DuPage, being surrounded by other entrepreneurs. You got to build this really community around you to be successful. Otherwise, you're doing it alone, and it's just not going to work.
Is Gray Matter Games like a brick and mortar, or is it a place to develop games, or is it a combo of both?
So we design and publish games, and more we're working with inventors. So this is where we go to Mary's Inventor Conference. We meet with all the, I have over 20 inventor pitches over 2 days. And our 3 latest games are all from inventors, 2 from the Chicago area.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to talk about those games in a moment, and I want to learn a little bit more because, Mary, you've told me this before, but you can, and Joe, you're an example of this too, you can make a career in toys and games. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it is something that you can do, and I love that Innovation DuPage is helping out here locally. We'll dive in a little deeper on all these topics, but first let's get a look at traffic and weather. Mary, how are we doing at 6:45?
Down to 62 tonight.
Yay! Great start.
All right.
Stations. Continuing our chat. Dan Facchini of Innovation DuPage, Mary Couzin of People of Play, and Joe Barron of Gray Matter Games. And Dan, you were telling me that Joe here to your left is just finishing up a 2-year run and doing something really cool with Innovation DuPage, right?
Yeah, he's been our entrepreneur residence for the past 2 years.
What does that mean?
We've kind of we identified Joe as one of our member companies that could help other companies as well. So he's taken a great leadership role for the organization, helped a lot of other members grow, helped them, along the way, and then really helped be the connective tissue between us and some of our members. So he's helped implement a lot of different initiatives at Innovation DuPage, and he's really been a great asset.
And Joe, when you say, and Dan says that you've helped out other businesses, is there like a tangible example you can get? Like, for people that maybe don't do this, where they don't run their own small business, they think, well, how are you? What do you mean you helping out other small businesses? Or if someone's listening right now and they're thinking, man, Innovation DuPage sounds like what I need to get this business started. What's an example of a tangible thing we can kind of chew on?
Yeah, so one of the first big things I did as entrepreneur in residence was build up our angel investor community. And so we brought in some of the largest ones in the area, Hyde Park Angels, Irish Angels, to actually have members pitch in front of them.
Oh, that's huge.
One of the cool stories is one of the member companies, Live Now, pitched to them. The next week, they got a $50,000 check to get their business going.
Whoa.
So that's just a great example. We've had others get in with some of these angel investors and get investment.
I love that. That's huge, right? Connecting people. The money is where a lot of this is. If people want to grow, if they want to scale, if they want to start out, they need that investment in capital. It's harder and harder to get these days with interest rates where they are. So if you're able to get on board with some investors to help you out, that is huge. Mary, we talked about the Toy and Game Fair. Is it the Saturday and Sunday in November?
Yes.
4 and 5?
Exactly. 4th and 5th.
And before then, the previous 2 days, Joe teased this, the investor. What is that? It's the inventors. What's it called?
Oh, it's the Inventor Pitch and Innovation Conference, where inventors can pitch to Hasbro, Mattel, Spin Master, and Joe.
And Joe, they're at Gray Matter Games. What do you mean? Like, someone listening right now might have an idea and could pitch?
Absolutely. And we'll also hook you up with mentors there, to people that have been in the industry and can, get you to the right people. And we have all sorts of resources for you to learn really more about the industry.
I just imagine there's people out there that have a great idea for a game, and they think, well, someone else would have thought of this already, or I'm sure this has been kicked around some big company boardroom and kicked out the other end. The reality is a lot of games are invented by everyday folks that have an idea, right?
Absolutely. Probably 90. Well, think about it. Apples. It's a one-hit wonder. Mm-hmm. Hope he's not listening.
It was a big hit, though.
It was a big hit.
That's more hits than I've got, so good for them. Is Chicago, have a lot of games come from the brains of Chicagoans?
Yes, we're toy invention capital of the world, and all started with Marvin Glass. So Joe is like third generation, if you will, of this legacy that Chicago has here. It's Inchworm, Gesture. It just goes on. And then we've got Radio Flyer, and you've got Tomy and Ty, and there's so many great companies here. Learning Resources in Vernon Hills, there's actually 5 of their companies up there. It's really a really rich history here in toys and games.
It's our Midwestern sensibilities. We know what makes fun around with the family. Joe, a couple new games, 2 invented by Chicago inventors or game. Yes. What's the word I use? Is inventors the right word?
Inventor, yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, we've got Wrong Answers Only, which just came out. That was from a Michigan inventor.
Okay. We won't hold it against them. That's fine.
The next one is the Donut Challenge is coming out next year. That was Tim Swindle and Brady Peterson, who are both Chicago. And then we have another one called Slip It In. Mm-hmm. which is from three guys from LaGrange. That it'll be fun to play together.
Well,
Trust me.
so you were telling me a little about this before. This new game, Slip It In, is a game, we've heard of like things you say or do that are goofy, maybe a little bit, things we can't say on the radio. There's a lot of games like that. Yeah, I think everyone thinks of Cards Against Humanity, stuff like that. This is like a way of doing that, but in the field. Like if you're all going to the bar for the night, you each get these cards. It's a very, 4-dimensional game to bring amongst people that maybe are unknowing participants, I should say.
Yeah, and there's nothing naughty about it. It's you get these 5 slips to start the night, and then you try to slip it in to the conversation naturally. So you might get a card that says like, "Your calves look really good these days," or "I don't trust people who eat candy corn." So there's nothing naughty, but it's just funny, kind of random things you wouldn't expect someone to try to slip into a conversation.
And you get points, accumulate them or something by the number you're able to do. Right. I love that. Let's go down the line for some final thoughts. Mary, why do you do what you do? Why did you choose this field?
I was in a lot of other industries, but this is my tribe. These are like really good, happy people. And I think if the world played a bit more, you learn that you have more in common than not when you play. And it's important.
And games on the screen are fine too, but games off the screen, just with other people, are incredibly important.
Absolutely.
The Chicago Toy and Game Fair is the 4th and 5th of November in Rosemont, Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, I imagine?
Yes, it is.
And the investors, you already told me, what's it again?
Inventor Pitch and Innovation Conference. It's okay. It's right across the street at the Embassy Suites.
Okay, and people can sign up for that still?
Mm-hmm, sure.
All right. Joe, where can people get more information about what you guys do?
You can go to graymattersgames.com, and I also have to make a quick pitch. We brought our intern, Sophia, here today, and she's just another example of one of the great things that came out of Innovation DuPage. So wanted to thank her for coming, and thanks to Dan and ID for bringing us together.
That's awesome, Dan. That's right. Helping people with interns. That is a troublesome process sometimes for people. We've talked to Marcel Raymond was talking about that with us, and having an intern that's done successful things. Just one of the many things you guys do at Innovation DuPage, right?
Yeah, we just brought in a new cohort of 10 interns at Innovation DuPage, helping our member companies. So that's what we do.
I ask you this, and sometimes it may be an uncomfortable question, but how much does it cost for a new business? I know there's different tiers, but generally speaking, to be a part of it, some people might think there's no way I'm going to be able to afford this. What's the cost?
As little as $50 a month. The mid tier is $125. Top tier is $225 a month.
To be part of something that can make your business grow leaps and bounds, $50 a month. That is something. So if you got a new business or you got an idea for one, they should reach out to you guys. Where can they do that at?
InnovationDuPage.org.
All right. Great conversation, guys. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, John.
For sure.
Thanks, John.
I'll be playing these games too. Let's take a break. We'll wrap things up and have news from the Northwestern Medicine Newsroom. Next on WGN.
Have the last few years prompted you
I think I'm okay. Very good. Checking on timing. Nice job. Thanks for the